let's begin. So we got the right foot, we got the left foot, we're pointing kind of, that arm's hanging down there. And so I guess the front foot wouldn't be quite, but if you went forward, they'd connect at some point. Anyway, find that for yourself. At this moment, it's not really that important. Okay, so the first things first, we're going to use our right hand. And so we're kind of swinging across. Now, we're not doing this. The feet are generating spirally torque, centripetal, centrifugal, right? And then we're getting this cyclic thing. We're getting this repeated, and that's what's happening. Everything in the world, everything in the universe, everything is in spirals. Everything's moving in elliptical paths, spiraling everywhere. We grow in spirals, trees, everything. And so if we're growing in spirals, if we're doing these things, then this is a natural existence for us. It's a natural thing. And so we walk or clomp, and these aren't natural things for us. We watch the apes or the monkeys as they go through the trees, or the squirrel or the chipmunk as it flies from branch to branch. These are alive, whole beings. They're whole beings, and that's what we need to be. Okay, back to our thing. Sorry, every once in a while I will get off on tangents. I tend to do that sometimes. So 8 videos may turn into 20 videos. But if you follow along, you'll get this. It really is quite amazing. It really is. It takes 15 minutes a day, 6 days a week, 78 hours a year. It doesn't sound like much, but imagine doing something for 78 hours straight. You will, at the end of the year, you will know. You will feel it every time you walk, every time you move. I compare it to the idea of getting on a treadmill. Whenever you're running on the treadmill and you get off and it feels like your muscles are still running, it's the same type of thing. You always feel like there's this spirally thing going on. And it's because as your structure and movement begin to coordinate, as your balance, your internal balance, your external balance, your grounding, your posting into the ground, you're feeling this energy as it's driving up through you. Like I said, it's these 2 cyclones ripping up and then joining together in the Dantian, in the sea of chi, and all of a sudden those 2 cyclones are now one, and it's flying around inside of you, and right? It's that. And it's not that you're doing this. It's that 1 inch. It's everything is. It's there instantly, and we don't. You'd have to, if you wanted to do that, you'd have to wind yourself up. And so what we're training ourselves to do is to take energy. Take energy. Yeah. So as that energy is coming into us, we're dispersing it back out. We're awakening our own energy, our own chi, and we're not dispersing it out of us, because violence destroys. Violence destroys. It destroys everything it sets out to create. We are not setting out to destroy anything. We want to build, get past this. Get past the image of what you may think this is. It is nothing. It is a tool. It is nothing. It's nothing. The shape itself provides us with the ability, as the ancients came up with these things based on certain ideas. We're incorporating those ideas and taking out what we don't need. We're dispersing what we don't need. We're dispersing all of the worthless, the anger, the depression. We're dispersing it. And now the way that we're dispersing it is we're pulling energy in. We're pulling, right? We're chi gathering. We're gathering chi from the. It's pulling in. It's pulling in. It's pulling in, and bah! Because it's that, bah! So, all right, we're back into this position. We're standing here. We start with our first one. Left arm forward. Whoa. Remember, as I said, we're throwing this across. But you see what's happening? As my legs torque, because if you just move one leg one way, just open them up, or close in, or you can do the opposite. So you've got these two separate prongs, if you will, two separate posts that are into the ground, and each one of them, it's like the joystick. But you've got two of them. They don't move necessarily together in unison. They move in unison, but they can move independently, providing the framework we're looking for. And so, up it comes, out. We throw ourselves across the waist. As our hips are going this way, our waist begins to fire that way. So we get this type of a movement. So as the energy is coming up through, the hips are going that way, and the upper body's going like that. So we're getting this twisting action. That twisting action is there is a massive amount of strength and musculature that exists in your back, across your shoulders, through your waist, into your hips, down into your legs. These are massive, massive muscles that, when they're called into action to torque themselves up, they can provide in a total body wholeness far more than you would ever be able to move or do with the individual. Okay, remember what I said before, violence destroys everything. If you look at this, and believe me, it's open, and so I'm sure people come across it, and you're going to go off and do your thing, and I understand that, but you're just wasting your time, you're wasting other people's time. You're not wasting my time, because I'm just putting this out there for people. I want people to get out of the doldrums. Get out of the doldrums. Stop being afraid. Stop being afraid of what everybody thinks, and just all of it. All right, so we're throwing our hips across, our waist, the torso is doing this thing. And so as we throw across, see how the hand, now this hand, it's tighten up that thumb. So, that would be taking a strike. There's the strike, and see what we did there? Okay, so here we've thrown it across. We could, this is easily blocked with this. Do that. Where do you go from there? Really, where do you go from there? You got to rewind. You got to do all these things. And so this is the torque. So here we go. Cross up, and we're not quite into the second movement. Well, we just hit the first of the second movement. Now you see what's happening here? Our right arm come across us, right? We're protecting our garden. So the right arm is coming across us. We've touched the side of the face. It could be a shudo blade. It could be a palm. It could be fingers. It could be a turned over thumb. It could be fingers across the eyes. It could be almost anything. But we're not doing that. So we're up and right? You see what's happening here? So we're goes across, goes up, goes bang, grab. That's the second movement. So 1 is the first movement. We don't count this. We don't count this or this or this. We only count this one. This is considered a strike. Now this is a negative. This would be a negative strike. If it really was an arm, neg 1, which is right about there, pericardium 6. The arm's there, but we're gonna hit that, And that's the, so we're grabbing and wah. In this case, the thumb straight out. We bend the hand in so it becomes a solid structure. Bah, bah, and we strike. We're striking up underneath the nose, right here, about GV26. So right underneath the nose, bah, right, wah. Again, I can't drive this home enough. You're probably hearing me. I do. That's in your head. You're playing Grand Theft Auto. It's a game. It's a game. It's not real. I don't want to go out and hurt anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. I wanted to hurt people whenever I didn't know what the hell was going on in the world. That's when I wanted to hurt people. You know what I don't want? I watch movies about aliens and super beings, and they come in here and they're all pissed off and angry and eating us, and I think, how crazy. If we look at our own evolution, it's very easy to see that the smarter and more evolved the society becomes, the less and less likely they are to inflict conflict and pain and suffering on others, because they have an awareness. As our awareness grows, the less and less things that we have to be that we are mindless of, the less and less things go to the wayside and look like they are carelessly looked after or carelessly looked upon. And so, all right, get back to this. So I told you I'd get off into a tangent. It happens. Okay. Now, here we are. Remember, as I said, that it's that bah, it's that bah, that's yeah. The old hanger. It's that's basically what we're doing that over and over and over and over. For 15 minutes, that's what we're doing. For 15 minutes, our whole structure is doing something. Okay, so we go across, bah. In this case, I like bah. Why? Because this is a grab, we're blocked, grab, turn, bah. So I've now got the hand, wah, and as this one comes down to block that arm, bah, wah, right? Now I can go across, but you see, don't want to do that. Where's it going to go? Not going to go anywhere. This is where our structure and movement comes in. So wah, bah. See what happens? Wah. Now, you say, well, why not? Because we're moving on. We'll move on. So this is one. First one, out, will strike, blocks the strike. My favorite one, block, strike, bah. You grab the arm, bah, underneath. See, we're leaving our arms where they are, and we're bah. See, it's that wah. Wah, bah. See, my arms and everything are moving with me. And so that's what we need to do here. Bah, right? Wah. Block, strike, block. And wah, bah. So we've got one. You don't need to do this for now. Block, strike, block. Wah, boom.